Hello boys and girls, this one I feel like at o'clock, and I'm Pearl of Wisdom, and you're listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Yesterday's games were poopty. It's the first time this year I've been under 50% on my picks. And you know what? I was a little under the line yesterday. Yes, I was. I was talking to my wife about it, and my wife said, you know, you shouldn't do picks today. And I was like, I have to do so for my fans. My fans are going to be very disappointed. First of all, I try not to live in have-tos, and I lived in a have-to yesterday. I try to turn my have-tos into get-tos or don't-dos. Probably should have been a don't-do, but that's all right. We had fun anyways, didn't we? We had fun. Not everything has to go exactly the way we want it in life, right? By the way, I am Pearl of Wisdom, and you are listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom coming from my bathroom because I had a little change of life, had to kind of downsize, got people living in the apartment, and it's not very private. So I'm using this as my privacy area to give my pearls to you. And you're going to help me out of this, because you are going to hit the subscribe button and the bell, and we are going to frolic together in larger surroundings and private planes and all the goodies that come with being a YouTube sensation, which we will be after you hit the subscribe button. Okay, I got letters. We love your letters. Send your letters. We go down to the mail room, get the mail sack of letters, and we strew it all over the letter table, and we all frolic and glee and jump, and it's fun. I should videotape that sometime. It's enjoyable. We love it. So anyways, send your letters. Seymour Praxton from Alonzi, is that how you say it? PEI, writes, and I mentioned this yesterday, and I got another letter about it, so I'm going to talk about it today. What should New Jersey Devils do with Mr. Taylor Hall? Okay, well, that's a really good question because it can go either way. I know here in Edmonton there was a lot of scuttlebutt. You don't hear that word too often anymore, do you? No, you don't. I like that word, scuttlebutt. There was a lot of scuttlebutt about Taylor Hall and him being very domineering in the room. Maybe to the point of being a jackass. They were a little bit feeling the pain of making him captain at such a young age. This is the thing that can happen. I'm not saying it did happen, but you become captain, you're young, you're making millions of dollars, maybe not mature enough for the role, and you just become a belligerent prick. And I think something like that is what appears to have happened. That's the reason why that Mr. Chiarelli booted him out as quickly as he did, grabbing nothing but Larson in return. Now, New Jersey has him. Okay, he wins MVP one year. Hall is a fantastic player. But if these rumors are true and still remaining, that they're having these issues in the room as far as him being a captain. And have you ever had a manager, owner of a company that you work for that his way of motivating you is making you feel like shit and telling you gotta do this and gotta do that and yelling at you all the time and stuff like that? That's kind of the feel, all right? Now, if that's still the case, and you've got a young guy like Jack Hughes in there, another young team in New Jersey, probably wouldn't be great for the energy of that place. Which case, I would say it would probably be best to see what you can get for them in the open market. Problem is, the market right now is not huge because, New Jersey pretty much would need defensemen in order to do that. Not necessarily, depending on how bad they want to lose them, but the defenseman market, as was the case when Edmonton traded him, was not great. So I looked around. You can help me out here where maybe else you might be able to go, but I thought maybe Arizona. But they're not. They're capped out. You're going to have to take some players back. Was a possibility, but when I looked at the defensemen they could choose, they were all fairly old, and maybe not the best for a New Jersey team. It's possible. You could get their first round pick this year. It depends on how much they really want to improve that offense. I think Arizona would like to listen to something like that for sure. But whether or not they'd be able to be willing to give up a package that's going to be tasty enough to trade Hall in that situation is hard to say. Demers, somebody like Demers, you would have to take, because they would need to give back salary. I'd love to have a guy like Dvorak. I think that they would be loath to trade him, but if you're going to get a guy like Hall, especially for only 1 year. The other big thing is this is a really deep draft, and first round picks are going to be hard to get. So I'd say the Calgary Flames possible. Starting out rough, you could get a guy like Hamonic, Frolik, and maybe Shilington, and a first. That's something you might be able to look at. That gives you a good young defenseman in Shilington. Hamonic is about 29 years old, a type of defenseman they don't really have in New Jersey. And Frolik, you're kind of doing them a favor by taking Frolik, because they've been trying to rid themselves of him for a while for whatever reason. Not to mention you're going to have to take that money back, because Hall's going to cost them $11 million a year. And that's the other reason why I think it's not a bad idea to trade Hall, is I don't really like giving $11 million a year to a winger. Now, that being said, they brought in Subban, and for a reason, it appeared like this was to satisfy Hall in order to be able to sign him, to show them that they're wanting to win and all of those things like that. He's grown up a couple years now. He's learned how to taper his personality to be a leader, a better leader in the room. And as much as I say that I'm not really fond of giving $11 million to a year, to a player like Hall that can score 40, maybe even 50 goals and plays hard every night, there's been questions about his defense. I don't know. When I watch him, I don't see it. Honestly, does he take risks? Yeah, but I still think he plays not a bad defensive game for a guy that can score 40 goals. So, should they trade him? If he still hasn't matured in that area, maybe yes. If he has, that package I gave you of Hamonic, Shilington, the first, and Frolik, isn't that shabby of a return for a guy like that. But you have to take into consideration that you're still rebuilding now. You're not going for it right now. There's little chance. If New Jersey keeps Hall, they can fill out their roster and maybe be almost Stanley Cup or playoff contenders in the next year or two. If they trade him for the package that I just said, it's less likely that that's the case for a little bit longer. So it really kind of depends on, first of all, if Hall has changed. Second of all, there's a thing I didn't take into consideration. If Hall has decided he doesn't like the makeup of this team and he wants to go, and you got to get something for him, which means that the likelihood of that would be apparent to other GMs, and the return might not even be as high as I said that the Calgary Flames were just about to give up. Might only be the first round pick and possibly Shilington. So there you go. You make up your own mind, boys and girls. I was going to do picks at the end of this, but I don't have time. So I'm going to do the picks in another video right away. Have a great day. Lots of love to you. Put your comments about the Hall situation down there in the comment section. I'll send you a My NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace. Helicopter to your door and signed by me.